on the giveaway. They're ready for it. So we
Oh,
are now
okay. So on
live.
my side, it says everyone can see and hear you.
Wait, really?
Yeah, now we're live 6 seconds. So we just
Oh,
went
okay.
live.
So I
Okay.
think because we had it as scheduled broadcast. So what's up, everyone? It's Eric and Tanner. Man, we're super happy. We're now live on YouTube, on
Yeah.
Twitter. I need you guys to retweet. Let us know in the comments that you are here.
Absolutely.
Someone at the end of this call is winning a Mech game NFT and a Kingdom Warriors NFT. What is the price going to be of Mech game?
So right now we're looking at around 0.2 ETH. So, but that would change obviously if ETH goes back up or whatever. So somewhere in that $500 to $600 range,
Perfect.
depending on what ETH is doing, right?
Wow. So you guys are getting a $600 NFT. Someone's going to win a $600 USD NFT, and they're also going to win 0.07, I think like a $200 NFT. Super excited. Like this, share this, tag some Warriors, tag some Mech game. You know, and eventually we're going to bring Kingdom Warriors are going to need a Mech, you know, a suit, you know, Warriors. I got my sword back here. In this day and age, I feel like everyone's going to need like a sword. They're going to need some type of like robot suit to live in the next 20 years. You never know what's going to happen. Shout out to Ukraine. We're praying for you guys.
Absolutely.
Everyone in Ukraine, around the world. You know, we got your back. And yeah, we're excited. The NFT space is so amazing. The past 5 months being in this space has just been incredible. Meeting people like Tanner, other people who are brilliant marketers. They're hey, we're gonna be doxxed. We're gonna innovate. We're gonna innovate in this space. I believe that in this Web3 NFT space is like one of the best places to innovate, to bring value to. I think it like we've been able to give money and help orphanages in Africa. We're also partnering again. They're partnering to help fight human sex trafficking. That's another thing Kingdom Warriors we're super passionate about. The fact that we can do that and build amazing games, products, and services, and like communities. To me, it's like there's no more of a win-win than to help charity, help Africa, help fight sex trafficking, and make money. What do you think, Tanner?
Oh, I totally agree. And I one of the things you touched on, aside from the charities aspect, which is super important to me, but it was just the innovation. Like, I mean, you're just like me. You've been an NFT buyer probably before you decided to build a project, and you were, you join these discords, you get all this hype, and then you mint, the floor drops, the guy's ghost or the project dies, and
rug
it's like
pulls.
Rug pulls and all this stuff, and they're all just Me Too's, they're all cash grabs, but they're actually giving the industry and what we've got a really bad name, because we're in this like amazing technological like perfect storm happening with blockchain, with DeFi, with NFTs as player-owned assets in games and things like that, and the ability that we have right now to change the trajectory of technology and the world. I mean, think about this, guys. All of us have played a video game. Now you can play a video game where you own the character, can sell the character, upgrade the character, make it more valuable, and earn money in a game. You can also buy an NFT where you can stake it and earn tokens that actually have real value. Like, wow. Already we have like Axie Infinity. Not my game, of course, but it's the blue chip in terms of how it's worked. Over 1.5 million Filipinos log in every single day and make their full-time living playing a video game. Now, of course, it's not a very fun game, but they're still making their living. They're able to provide for their family playing a video game. That's the early adoption, right? How much is that going to change? Like, we can totally disrupt third world, economics by allowing people to play a game with an NFT.
Wow, come on.
It's just awesome. It's amazing. And the innovation is huge. Like, our focus is obviously we're building a game that people would play and want to play, that I would want to play, even if there's no, play to earn, which is not there. And then you guys who are also building something very unique and different, and like, it's not just, these aren't copycat Me Too projects. There's actual utility, there's value, and there's a long roadmap of what we're actually going to do, which I think is what makes it special.
You hit the nail on the head, and Axie Infinity has kind of been a case study for us as well. Looking at the doors are really opening in Africa for us, in Kenya, in Uganda, and Nigeria, where doors are opening to where we can basically open the gates for Africa to be the next big adoption and basically play to earn for Kingdom Warriors, and so we're super excited.
Yeah, it's huge. Like, we're doing our game as a WebGL game so that it can be as long as you have a browser, you don't even have to have a crazy computer or a gaming system or anything like that. you can play it, which again, to try to play to obviously I want the whole world to play, but if I can do a good deed at the same time and allow, Africa, Kenya, Philippines, Indonesia, Asia, some of these different areas that need that help and have fun doing it, great. And we can give money to charities. To me, that's just the best of both worlds.
Nice. We got Sean Spacey saying, I need to go mint to Mech. Hey, Sean and our team, put this on the blast everyone here in our Discord. You guys go check out the Mech Warriors Discord.
Actually,
we're gonna hear. Yeah, you guys. I'm gonna talk real quick. You get your guys' team on getting this out
link,
there.
Eric, or do I share what link do I share to our Discord?
Let me show you. So to your Discord, it's our YouTube live. So I'm gonna give you our YouTube. Here it is. Okay, so you're gonna give this link right here. Where is it? Okay, I just put it in private chat, and then I also put it in the. But give this link to your team to basically get out there. But you guys go get a Kingdom Warriors NFT. I didn't get a Mech game. We're gonna hear a little bit about Tanner's background, and then we're also going to we're gonna be doing a giveaway. Someone's gonna win basically a $600 NFT. Someone's also gonna win one of our Kingdom Warriors Genesis 2. Both of these are going to be able to be a play to earn, which means you actually earn money by holding and staking, playing these games. Like this technology is revolutionary. Like he said in Axie Infinity in the Philippines right now, people are literally, instead of you guys think U.S. government is corrupt, which I think a lot of governments are corrupt. There is other countries where there's less opportunity, there's less jobs, there's less. Like America, we're actually blessed. Even at our worst, we're actually super well off compared to. We're like, I know obviously we complain, and obviously we wish there's obviously we need reform, we need better governments all over. But in other countries in Africa and Uganda, Nigeria, you look at Kenya, you look at some of these nations where their governments are even more corrupt. The Philippines, where there's more wealth inequality, where you want to if you're a great marketer, you're a brilliant person, it's still really a lot harder to get capital, harder to start up your business, harder to start up a marketing agency, harder to start up an e-commerce store. And it's even if you're really great at what you do, so these people, instead of working at the Walmart, the gas stations, and making barely any money, they're able to play a game through their phone, through using Web3 technology, and also through their phone, and also through the internet. This is incredible, and it's you can't beat that, to be able to play a game in a game for us, for Kingdom Warriors, is all about impact and warriors, and basically warriors, integrity, honor, impact, and taking you through identity of seeing hey, you have greatness within you and you have potential. A little backstory on me was I grew up in a school system where I was called stupid, ADD, ADHD, dyslexic, flunked out of college 3 times. I ended up finally getting around people that were like, hey, Eric, you're a leader and you're really good at business and you're going to go far. And I started believing myself. I ended up getting through business school. I became an Army paratrooper. The Army paid for my rest of my business school, and then ended up doing millions in sales and revenue for multiple corporate companies before going into kingdom entrepreneurship, which is, to me, it's kingdom. To me, it's impact entrepreneurship, where it's you're an entrepreneur, but your goal is to help serve as many people as you can. And through adding value to as many people as you can, money will come to you. It's not about just selling snake oil or soap, or selling something that doesn't help people.
Absolutely.
So Tanner, tell us about your story. Tell us about your background. I know you've been a speaker, coach, you've done marketing, done a lot of amazing stuff. Tell the people, how did you get to this place of even success to where you can even invest in your own NFT company and game company?
Well, I have a similar college story. Not quite the same, but it took me 10 years to get a 4-year degree because I kept dropping out and quitting and everything else. So I'm not a doctor, but I went to school long enough to be one.
Wow.
So I finally did get a degree. But I come from my specialty is I was a window cleaner. I'm blue collar as they come. That's what I started doing. I was a window cleaner, but I started messing around online in 2001. With affiliate stuff and different things. And I built a fairly successful window cleaning company at the time. I wound up having to sell it because I had a cornea transplant in my left eye, and because I was going blind. and I couldn't work the company anymore. So I sold it at a good time before the economy crashed, and then started living off savings and realized how much that sucked. And then I started really focusing on the internet side of things and became a student of direct response marketing and everything else and selling physical products. I was a power seller on eBay for a lot of years. And this is back in the 2001 timeframe when there was no technology to do e-commerce effectively. So when you sold something on eBay, you still had to copy and paste their name and address out into a like Microsoft Word label printer and print out sheets of labels. You didn't even get to like an invoice or anything. So it was awful. And you had to go to the post office and weigh every package. So it was terrible, but I loved selling physical products. And I kept doing that over the years. And we became really, really interested and good at e-commerce. I've done Amazon FBA, had my own stores, OEM designed products from the ground up, private labeled, arbitrage, done it all. And over the years, I just got really, really good at e-commerce. And that's what I focused on. I stopped doing everything else and ultimately built a company called Build, Grow, Scale, which is a e-commerce optimization company. We're one of the bigger ones in the space, and we've been around for a long time. I also wrote the book E-commerce Evolved, which became kind of the modern day Bible of e-commerce. And that's my day-to-day business. Like I've been doing that forever, but I've also my whole life been what I consider a closet gamer. I call myself a closet gamer because I'm so addictive that if I allow myself to game too much, I would never get anything done in life. So I have to kind of control that, but I've always wanted to build my own gaming project and everything else. And previous to what blockchain has brought to the table, building a game was a pretty hefty undertaking and it was very hard to break into and everything else. But I saw this perfect storm happening with, like I said earlier, blockchain, distributed ledgers, the DeFi applications, play to earn economics, and the big one was the NFTs, not the NFT itself, but the technology that allows you to have player owned characters, and own that asset and upgrade that asset and make it more valuable and potentially sell it and things like that. And I was like, oh man, this is the perfect storm. This is my time. This is my opportunity. And that's how we kind of jumped into it. But my background is traditional business. We've built and sold lots of companies. We are partners with some of the bigger brands like on the planet when it comes to e-commerce and do all the optimization for them. And I just love business and I love NFTs. I love crypto. And so my focus is now like, how can I build this passion project into what I do for the rest of my life? I truly want to do this. And we've got a great team helping us do it.
Tell us about your kind of like, ever since you got the idea, how did you go from there? You had an idea of Mech game. Tell us a little bit about that development from idea to getting to where you are now, where you have developers, artists.
Yeah, absolutely. So I didn't just pick Mech out of mechs out of randomness. I approached this project the same way I would approach a business, and I did a bunch of research and everything else, and I'm like, okay, what's represented out there? What's underrepresented in the crypto space? What's good in the crypto gaming space? What's bad in the crypto gaming space? And what I found was most of the things in crypto gaming, they're barely games, right? They're more like gambling wrapped up with an NFT, and they're not a lot of fun. They may make money, but the fun aspect is missing. The thing that's really going to make true gamers want to come play. And that's what we need, is that massive adoption of the regular gaming world. So I knew I wanted to build a game that was fun to play and addictive to play first, and then layer in, play to earn economics. So while doing this research, I played Mech Warrior a bunch back in the early 90s when it came out and stuff. But I didn't think about mechs as an audience until I did some research, and I found that mech gamers are a very large audience, and they're also very addictive in terms of they play a lot. And then I also figured out that another audience that I was really interested in, which was tower defense. Tower defense is another big audience of gamers that's very passionate. They love to stream, they love to play, and that there was a big overlap between tower defense players and mech players, as in the mech players also love tower defense games. But that in the mech gaming world, all mech games are mech versus mech combat. There was no variety. So I was like, oh man, this is a perfect opportunity to take two things. Let's take a tower defense concept game, layer in some strategy, and bring in mechs as the hero characters in the game, like the NPCs, and make this really cool idea. So that's where the idea of the game came from. And when I did that, I was like, okay, how do we do this like how do I minimize the steps, but also make it the most valuable at the same time? Because if things take too long to pull off, they usually break down and they don't happen. So I wanted to make sure I was moving along quickly. And one of the things that I realized was a big benefit was if we could, I found early on some really amazing 3D artists and 3D modelers and animators and stuff like that. So I said, hey, let's go from the get-go. Let's build our game characters as the 3D animated game ready characters they need to be, and then turn those into NFTs. So our NFT, when we launch the Genesis collection, even when you're looking at it on OpenSea, will be the exact character, 3 dimensions and everything, and animated that you see in OpenSea will be the same one you play in the game. So it's not like an image that you'll then have to have converted and play later. The exact characters are the game characters. So we're skipping a curve there, which was awesome, except it also opened up a whole bunch of other complications that I didn't know we were getting into. And it was like, oh, now you're doing 3D generation, like generative art. Oh, wow, that's
How long did that take for the 3D artists to generate that many, and how many traits are on there?
Yeah, so we're actually we just did the final test generation not this last week, actually 2 days ago. So there are 10,000 mechs in the Genesis collection. There are 8 models of mech in the Genesis collection. So each model has a different circulating supply. Like the Maverick, or the Maverick only has 500 out of 10,000. The Centurion has 1,500 out of 10,000. The Goliath has 1,500 out of 10,000. So they're all different. Out of those 8 mechs, each mech has 16 game editable stats. So these are like upgradable game stats, like accuracy, range, energy, those kind of things. And then they have 13 traits, like normal traditional rarity traits. Out of those 13 rarity traits, there are 7.6 billion possible combinations from the generative side. So they will be all unique. And that includes every mech has between 4 and 6 weapon slots. So, the most weapons you could have on a mech is 6. The fewest would be 3. And they're all different types, right? So we've got all that kind of stuff going, but the generation is very complicated. 2D generation is complicated enough, just taking all the different traits, lining them up, making them look right, making them stack right. And then you add in third dimension, plus in 3D, you've got UVs, you've got multiple texture layers, you've got all these different things. And so that took a lot. So right now we did a test generation with the final output for the 3D file, which will be a GLB file. And that generation right there, it took 18 minutes to generate that one file.
Wow.
So now we're going to use server farms to do the full generation. So we can actually, not server farms, virtual machine, basically server farm concept. So we can run it across multiple machines at once and do it faster. So it'll only take like 2 days to do the full generation. But still, it's crazy. Out of those 10,000 NFTs, 9,987 of them will be generative. The other 13 will be legendary one-of-ones.
That's amazing. And so how many total is there? And then when do you guys...
10,000 in the collection.
10,000. And then when do you guys launch, and how do people mint them right now?
So right now they can't mint. They can just get on the whitelist, get ready for the mint. And the mint will happen in March. We've got a bunch of VCs and advisors that are involved in the project that are advising us to not mint too early, but also not mint too late. So they're trying to keep us flexible right now on date, just based on what's going on in the world and what's going on in the crypto market. So we don't, obviously, as everybody knows, minting your collection is kind of a very important aspect of the first real portion of the project. So we want to make sure we come to the market with our best foot forward. If you guys go to mech.game, that's the name of the game, and it's the URL. You guys can find all like the Discord, and you can do all that stuff. So we will be on OpenSea, but we actually will also be on Byte and other marketplaces. But we're going to be featured on Byte, which is the new a new marketplace that we're working with. They actually have.
You like that one?
I do. I got in full disclosure, I'm an owner. So I'm one of the guys behind the project. So, but I was not a founder. I got brought in later. I'm friends with the guys who own it, and I love the project because it's a multi-chain platform, or chain agnostic platform. It can do Ethereum, Solana, Magic, all those different chains. So But the cool thing that I like there is they are doing integrated rarity with RarityMon because they own RarityMon as well. So collections will be able to have rarity built into the NFT platform itself for all their users. So there's no more jumping back and forth or trying to figure out which rarity is accurate for your item. And it's phenomenal. So yeah, we're going to be.
Can you hook up Kingdom Warriors with
I
some?
totally can.
Some stuff.
Right now Solana's live, as you probably already know. The Ethereum will be live, I think, by the end of the week or end of next week. I mean, and then it's going.
Are you guys doing any of the stuff like Looks Rare? I really enjoyed Looks Rare and X2Y2. How they did. If I spent over 3 ETH, I got like an airdrop. Are you guys?
Yeah. So we're not doing a token. The reason we're not doing a token is because we've already got approached by Sequoia Capital and a couple other companies for doing a Series A, and tokens negate the ability to be acquired and yeah.
Why is that?
Because the token basically typically violates the Howey test, which is a SEC Securities Act. So and the token also, it's not equity, but it's kind of like it. So it's just this weird thing. And
so it's already getting equity, raising
until the SEC rules on like how these tokens have to play in the world. The traditional like VCs and investment firms don't know how to deal with it, so they don't want that.
So for real quick, for people like, you know, like us, like we're marketers, we're business people, like we're bridging the gap between decentralized, where it's like raise money, NFT, raising funds for your dream, or like we have like a Hollywood movie producer, we have a book coming out. So this project for us, like we have a movie producer who's worked with Morpheus from The Matrix. Like, so we're bridging in Hollywood, we're bridging in Kingdom Warriors with like movies, books. Think of Lord of the Rings, think of like Chronicles of Narnia. Like that's kind of the vibe. That's kind of like the storytelling that we're doing with a hero like Star Wars, like Luke Skywalker, who everyone can relate to. We have a brilliant author we commissioned, and so all this was funded through NFT technology. I didn't have to go pitch to a VC, which I do have a pitch deck, and I also like I have that mindset like VCs, but a part of me as well is like, well, why would I want my community to be a part of this VC? Like I want our community. So talk about that real quick, the pros and cons of your community kind of having to share versus VCs.
Yeah, so we're going to let our community be a big part of it. So anyone who has a Genesis Mech, because we are doing a dual token economy, obviously we're going to have play to earn. We have to have a token economy. For the legality aspect of it, because I'm in the US, I'm in Nevada, I can't launch a token from the US and be.
You really can't?
No.
Because of why though?
Because it's a token basically becomes an unregistered security.
In what state? Or what state is it?
In the whole U.S. The closest one that you can kind of get around it right now is Wyoming. What you have to do is you got to go offshore.
Really?
So I have a legal team that was set up I got connected through Animoca, that is basically helping me do the legal side of all of that. So my token will be launched through the offshore company that's owned, so that U.S. people can participate in it. I don't get in trouble, and it's legal across the world. So that's where we're going. But in terms of the VC side and the Genesis side, so our Genesis holders of our Mech will also get to participate in the private round of the token launch. So I was not going to do VCs at all. And then I got approached by several, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I have a lot of VC experience from the regular business world, but VCs and crypto VCs are totally different. They don't operate the same way. Most in the crypto space, there's good VCs and bad VCs. A bad VC is someone who wants to give you money, but only cares about dumping the token once the TGE event happens and whatever. They don't care about the success of the project. They're just trying to make a quick buck. A good VC is someone who's willing to invest in the long-term duration of the project, believes in the project, and wants to, help it grow. So we're looking, like the VCs we're talking with are VCs that bring up something to the table besides money. But the only way to get what they bring is to allow them to invest. So you have to have some VC allowance. And what they bring to the table is like the legal team. They brought me access to that legal team. I got tokenomics experts that have helped go through our tokenomics and map those out. I've got connections to influencers, connections to other top tier, VCs or tech teams, or hey, you want to get your token listed on a centralized exchange. You need those connections to cut through the red tape to get to those levels. And that's kind of the stuff that they bring. Plus the incubation that some of these bigger VCs have with GameFi, DeFi, whatever, collaborations. We're testing side chains out for our game right now. And we just got connected to 2 other potential side chains directly to the founders of those side chains just through a VC connection who's like, hey, you guys should test this chain. Here's the guy. We wouldn't have tested it if we couldn't have gotten to someone who knew. So
from what you've tested, play to earn, what is obviously everyone thinks, gas, even like we have a brilliant developer who can do ERC 721. Like if you mint 9 of our NFTs, our pre-sales that we have open right now, like it's like $30 in gas, which we have like brilliant stuff as far as that. But then people say like, oh, well, when you play, it's gas, $5-10 every time you do something. So and then obviously, it's worth looking at, especially if you do want to bring it to, so what has been in your research you've seen as far as gaming for Solana, all those other platforms?
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple of things right now. One thing is I personally believe, and now this is not, I'm not saying this is everybody, but I think you're kind of on the same page as me, but I'm not going to speak for you. But my belief is that if you care about the people who buy your NFTs and you want their NFTs to appreciate and have a chance at being sold and increasing in value, really, it needs to be on Ethereum. It's the largest network. It's got the most volume. It's the most stable. It has the standards, whereas like Solana doesn't have any of that stuff. And the most expensive Solana NFT is middling in expense compared to the most expensive Ethereum 100%. NFT.
I feel the same way right now.
So that's why our NFT will be on Ethereum, and we've got some awesome Solidity devs as well. And our gas fees will be minimized as much as possible. But the problem, like you alluded to, is in the game functionality. So anytime the game has to interact with the blockchain, you're running an interaction, right, which costs gas fees. So if there's lots of interactions, you're going to be incurring lots of gas fees, especially if you're running it on Ethereum. Now, when ETH2 comes out, maybe things are going to be better. We don't know what ETH2 is going to be, or we don't know how long it's going to take. So right now, what we're doing is we are going to have the NFT live on Ethereum, but we will utilize a side chain for game interactions. The other thing is that people are trying to build their games right now exclusively on chain, but the reality is blockchain is great, but it's still in its infancy. It has not advanced enough to really support an awesome, fully featured game at high speeds and with lots of players on chain. So the game itself needs to live off chain until the technology comes up. And then when you need to interact with the chain, you use a side chain. So like when you're doing your token allocations or your winnings or your experience points, or you're upgrading the NFT or whatever else, like let's say your NFT goes from a level 5 to a level 10. Okay, well that at level 10 needs to be reflected on the NFT, on OpenSea, right? Mm-hmm. So that's an interaction. To do that though, there's going to be lots of those. You don't want that to be an ETH gas, even if it's only $10 per interaction. If each player has 10 interactions a day, now we got $100 in gas fees. No game can support that, neither can the players. So you utilize a side chain like Polygon or AVAX. Hedera is one we're really looking into. Stark is another one we're looking into. The ones that we're testing right now with the most success are AVAX and Polygon.
I really like AVAX. I'm pretty bullish on AVAX.
Me too. I'm super, super excited about AVAX. And the other thing is AVAX also is very pro gaming right now. So they're even willing to incubate and or provide grants to games that will build on their platform exclusively. So you can get, basically pay no gas fees, get tech help, all kinds of stuff like that. We haven't got there yet, but that is an option on that. And Hedera is another one that's got major potential. I've got a huge bag of Hedera that I've been holding for a long time.
I heard about them. Are they more like centralized?
No. They're decentralized, but they're more. Their interaction as a layer 2 on the gaming side is just, from what my devs are telling me, it was just kind of being explored. But their chain is super secure. It's very fast. Fees are minimal. Polygon's great. Polygon just seems to get bogged down and not be as stable, but it's super cheap. So we're playing. I don't. I'm not great on the techie side. We've got amazing guys who are. I can speak the tech a little bit at a high level, and I can understand what they're telling me, but it's definitely in their world. Mohammed, Wax and Hive. I don't have any personal experience with either of those, so I'm not really sure. But there's a lot of potential sidechain layer 2s. But the thing is when you're developing something, At some point, you just have to pull the trigger and say, we're going this way so we can actually make progress. You can't, we can't keep testing side chains forever.
So to get this straight, so side chain, you could do the transactions on the side chain or like some of the transaction stuff, but buy on the Ethereum. I mean, Bored Apes there, CryptoPunks, all the
I'll give you an example. Think about Axie, right? Axie utilizes Ronin, their own sidechain network, right?
Oh, in-house, huh?
Yeah, they built one, which now that's another one that's coming up. They're making Ronin public.
Ooh,
where
nice.
you can, or other projects can actually, and honestly, I think out of everything Axie's built, Ronin is the gem. Ronin is the thing that's going to make Axie legends, not the game itself.
Yeah, the game. Yeah, I really appreciate Axie. I mean, they're like a forerunner, you know, pioneer, and so they're really helping us see vision for what we can do in the world, and you know, international. I love how international this space is.
They're really showing us right now from a P2E standpoint how not to do P2E, because they've let with scholars. If you're going to allow scholars and scholarship programs, what they've done is they've allowed their mint to burn ratio on their SLP token to get way out of proportion. And that's why everything's been tanking for Axie lately. And they haven't been implementing the right kinds of burn mechanics and in-game stuff. They're doing it. They have stuff on the blocks to do it.
Yeah.
But they just haven't done it yet. But yeah, they're an amazing company. I'm not saying anything bad about them, but they're so big. They've been able to show us what to do right.
Yeah, no, they're good. And that's the thing about you get shot in the back a little bit. I mean, you obviously have success. I mean, haven't they done $1 billion in volume?
Something like that. Something
I heard they've done like $1 billion in volume, and that's like a feat that like you can't really. Someone said, Sean said, that's a great quote. When you're developing something, at some point you just have to pull the trigger to make progress. Same for us. And imperfect action in this world is always good. Like if you think about doing something for 10 years and then all of a sudden you get a heart attack and die, now you didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
done is better than perfect, right? Because you got something done.
Yeah. So that's been our journey with Kingdom Warriors is we've done 0 to, I mean, now basically 0 to 80,000 in revenue in the past. Really, it started only in revenue at January 31st, and now it's February. So that's 0 to 80,000 in the past 3 months, but really only hidden revenue on the 31st. So it's like, but to me now we've learned and we're growing, and you know, we're trying different stuff. But as long as you're trying and you don't give up and you just keep, and if you do fail as an NFT founder, not even fail, but fail in the world's eyes of like you didn't make $1 million overnight. But as long as you keep showing up and you keep using what you have to keep scaling and growing and learning, I think you're going to be good in this space, because the people 100%. Who don't give up will win.
Well, absolutely. And what you guys, for those of you listening to this, sorry, I get into like a little like philosopher / teacher role, because that's a part of what I do. But what he just said was so important. Not so much about like, you know, yeah, some things sell out crazy, but the fact that it's the passion and the willingness to stick it through and keep working through. There's a reason that, you know, you're getting people like myself and Eric from the business world coming over, because so many of the projects that have been launched are not done by people who have an ounce of business sense. And those are the projects.
They get all the money and then they just get happy and they disappear.
They get happy, or they don't know what to do with the money, and then they blow it, or they don't. They're like, oh yeah, you know what? We should develop a game now. Oh, really? You're just now thinking of that? Like,
yeah, there's no planning. They're like,
the roadmaps that you see these projects have are mostly complete bullshit. So, what Eric's talking about though is that failing forward philosophy is what builds successful companies in the real world, and it's going to be what revolutionizes the crypto gaming and blockchain space, and also bring legitimacy to the NFT space. Now, all of us want crypto to become mainstream, so that because we're all early adopters, right? All of us, even though if you just got in today, you're an early adopter. We want to make gazillions. We got to get mainstream adoption. I fully believe that what's going to lead the charge in the adoption from the mainstream will be crypto gaming. Wow. The gamers will move over first. NFTs are going to pave the way for that, because gamers like WoW players. I've played WoW. That, you know, you build this character up, you got this level 80, you know, warlock or whatever, and then you're like, okay, I don't own it. But if I could own that level 80 and I could sell it,
that'd be amazing.
You know, now I did that back in the early days. I played Diablo 2 and we used to sell our Diablo accounts on eBay.
Oh, wow.
For like a couple $100. It was illegal, but we did it. And then, you know, just like through old Warcraft, there was gold farming, and people would sell, you know, gold on eBay or through.
This is the next evolution of what was already going to happen, or what was already happening, but they had to do it underground.
So they already want it. The gamers want that. We just have to make it accessible for them and enjoyable for them. And once that massive gaming crowd comes over, they're going to learn crypto. They're going to learn to love crypto and use crypto through gaming. And once they do that, the rest of the world's going to follow suit. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I just heard, I don't know if someone verified this. I just heard Elon Musk just bought a golden Bored Ape. So, I mean, now that Elon's in NFTs, Steph Curry's in NFTs, Jimmy Fallon, I mean, there's NFTs are like going to the moon. I'm trying to get Kanye West in NFTs. Anyone knows Kanye West? Get me with him. If I can help him make his music and some of his art, some of Kanye's old art, like 808 and Heartbreak, like he has a good artistic style. I mean, he obviously like, he knows that. So if we can help him, you know, he thinks NFTs are a waste of time right now, but I'm going to help him change his mind. Absolutely. That's something I'm putting out there in the world. So Tanner, let's see. Oh, one, we have our community asking for whitelist spots. Can I do a giveaway in our thing?
You can. You know what? Why don't we give your key guys? What do you think? 25 whitelist spots sound good?
Sounds good. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah,
we'll do a giveaway bot in the Discord to tell them, hey, join the Discord. Say, hey, here from Kingdom Warriors, and we're gonna give 25 away to Kingdom Warriors.
Does that sound good to you guys? Is 25 okay? Or would 5 be better?
25 or 5. Sweet. We want. I know Bruce is ready to buy. Bruce is ready to buy. Bruce is from Canada and he builds like decks and builds all this stuff with his hands, and everyone in Kingdom Warriors love him. So I think your community will love Bruce.
Bruce, thanks for having us or joining us. I mean,
he just joined your Discord and he's excited. So I think Bruce, you're probably gonna win, Bruce. I have a feeling.
Yeah, so we're gonna do 25. Brad, Brad, aren't you already whitelisted?
Brad wants double whitelist, so he can have 2 of his MetaMask wallets.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just gonna hold a whole bunch of mechs for 3 years, and then that's gonna be my exit retirement plan.
Brad's another one from our business world. He's another one from our internet marketing world.
Dude, I love how the internet marketing world. I love how I love how we can. I mean, and granted, I will say to internet marketing people, like, don't just come in this space and like buy one NFT and be like, let me sell you a course in NFTs. Like,
I know, yeah.
Because you guys, Kingdom Warriors, like we literally are doing free education. We're onboarding like Africa. We're talking to like ambassadors and people in Africa to be like, look, like if your guys' nation, if they have internet and they learn, like we have a free course on Solidity, Crypto Zombies. We have a free course like how to code NFTs, how to code traits. Like all this stuff is there. It's literally available. We just we have to make it available or make it known. You have to make people, one, it has to click in your head that this is the future. Secondly, you just have to educate people. And there's so much free education out there. I mean, there is probably someone selling a good course on how to do something. And I do believe in online education. But for the internet marketers to only want to like not buy people's NFTs, like I bought over 70 NFTs over 12 projects before I ever for months and study kind of like you said as a business consultant, like helping scale businesses and do marketing for businesses. I looked at the pros and cons of how they made me feel. How was the launch experience? What were the obviously the rug pulls, all the doxed and everyone like not knowing, like no one even being able to talk to any of the founders, never been able to talk to anyone. Like I looked at the cons and I looked at the pros, and the communities that did it well, you can take a lot of those principles, even good business principles, like do what you say. If you mess up, just own up to it, and like communication. There's so many different things you can apply to the business world of adding value, and then putting it to the NFT world to innovate.
100%.
So what were the biggest challenges you would say, like for an NFT person coming to start a project, or what would be like the things you've learned now, and then challenges that you faced you'd want to share
in terms of starting a project?
Yeah, starting a project and just kind of, I would say starting a project. And then the next would be like, what would be your advice for people getting the NFT on board in the NFT world?
Yeah. So I think the challenges to the project is I should have done more digging into what it took to do 3D NFTs, like 3D game characters. I understood, but to do 3D NFTs, I would have changed my timeline on doing things because it was it slowed us up a lot. And I didn't expect it to, because I made the assumption that it was going to be the same thing as 2D. That was probably my biggest, oh crap, I should have done that. The other thing that I would have done differently is I would have established my pitch deck and tokenomics and white paper earlier on. We're still really early because we're pre-launch, but like before I even really showed it to the world, I would have built those out and then I would have gone and talked to a few VCs and let them basically poke holes in it. Not that I needed their money or anything, but there's just so much. Some of these guys are willing to give so much wisdom, and it would have, shortcutted and saved us a lot of money in terms of how we approach things. The other thing is that traditional marketing does not work well in NFTs right now. I was actually on a call, like I told you, with Crypto Nights yesterday, and we were talking. He's like, well, what do you think is the reason? And I said, well, I kind of think that the crypto world they're like Han Solo, right? They're like half mercenary, half pirate. And then you've got the traditional, like, regular business world, which is the empire, right? Which is tons of rules and order and things like that. And he's like, well, dude, think about it. You're running ads to Han Solo. Would he care about your ads? I'm like, no, he wouldn't. He wouldn't like them just because they're ads. So that's kind of the problem. So would be looking at that from a collection and going, okay, ads are good. You can do them in a specific way, but how else are you going to grow and scale a community, not being able to leverage the traditional media stuff that, business guys like us know how to do very, very well.
Well, something I really liked about, especially because the whole idea that the community is kind of like, obviously getting a share in this project, getting a share. I like thinking of it like they're part of our, fundraising. They're part of scaling, part of just they're just a part of it. Like if you own an NFT, like that's like a digital piece of real estate, and you're basically you're valuing some real estate into that game or future or community. Whether when you show up and you add value in the Discord, when you show up and add value on Twitter, when you're retweeting, when your guys are commenting on here, subscribing to YouTube, like you guys are helping, and then you guys also have a share, so your guys' shares go up. When the passive income the shares go more valuable. So what we've really done that I really like, that I believe in, because we've done an all organic strategy, which, and I will say it's because people like Squiggles and all these, like I've seen projects that have paid $250,000 to rug pull people, because they'll spend $250,000 to make $2 million, and they'll rug pull. And so don't think just because they're in Forbes, Yahoo, because they're Bryce Hall, the TikToker, gets paid $30,000 to retweet and say that he's going to mint. Don't think that doesn't mean they won't rug pull you. I have a viral video on my YouTube, Eric Skeldon on YouTube, of exposing some rug pullers who literally, they live in LA, they live in California, and they're all docs. They all just say, oh, we're all these smart people and cool. I mean, their artist looks pretty cool. Their websites look amazing. Their marketing, they grow. They've got like 4 projects running on
Facebook ads right now. Those same guys.
Yeah. And they blow up their projects, and they have a plan. They have a system to rug pull people. So just be aware of that, because I've literally, Vaults of Gems was one of them that I exposed on. And then they found out they just had like 100-page dossier that the people I exposed on Vault of Gems, and I helped a lot of people save their money from that project, because I was about to buy them when I first was a newbie, but I was newbie enough to like have discernment and like learn like how to, like, what a rug pull was and signs of a rug pull, and like silencing people and not asking, like they did Lucky Buddha, then they did that one. Anyways, they ended up doing Squiggles, and OpenSea took them off. And they literally just made like tons of millions of dollars. Now they're on like the Looks Rares and the other smaller. But just, you guys just know that just because, like, we've done organic because we kind of wanted to see like who would actually support us, like, and test our theory. And we've also just poured, when we bring in money, we pour it back to our community for, like, we're looking at like who's retweeting, who's liking, who's inviting some people, and like really just rewarding our community with Ethereum, with merch. We're setting up merch now. And I really like the idea of rewarding the community for helping you grow with you. Obviously you do got to do outside marketing too, but we want to do the community
side way heavier in terms of like that's our number one source, because that's the word of mouth. They're the evangelists, the product ambassadors, whatever you want to call it, and they should be rewarded as much as possible, because if you buy, like in my case, if you buy a Genesis Mech, that's the Genesis collection, it's the first collection. You are literally a founding member of the project. So, and that if I'm a good custodian of the business and the project and the community, which is my job, then I have to take care of you. I should want to take care of you and make sure you're constantly rewarded for continuing to support the project. That is what a good project does. But that leads me into your other question, was like, what should people look for and be aware of? I think the biggest thing anymore, and this is a big thing for us, and Eric, I know you're obviously you're on your faces here, but I don't think anybody should support any project unless it's doxed. And the reason is, think about this, guys. You're willing to spend $500, $600, $1,000 to buy into a project where the owner of the project, which is a business, as soon as you take money from somebody, it's a business, right? So they have a business, and the owner of the business of this startup is not willing to put his face behind this product. He's going to put a picture of his NFT behind the product. Why would you want to put your money into that? Like if you were in the real world, in real life, and you were offered an investment into a startup, but you couldn't, you just saw a picture of an ape that's the owner of the project, and their dumb nickname. Would you invest? Hell no. You sure as hell wouldn't. But we do it in the NFT space because we're greedy and we're excited and we're whatever. So that's the number one thing, is make sure that the team is doxed. And then if you can't talk to the founders, like you're talking to me, you're talking to Eric, if you can't talk to the founders and ask pointed questions. If you go into our Discord and you look at our general chat, there's some pointed questions that have been asked to me by the members, and I answer them right there in the general chat. I don't go delete the question because it's valid. And yeah, some people may not like the answer, but I'm going to be honest. And if I am, it's just going to create a better community overall. And, I've noticed that about, Kingdom Warriors. They're the same way. There's nothing hidden, and those are the two things that are the most important. The other thing is, I would say, is when you decide to buy an NFT and you're comfortable with the project, don't keep saying, I'm going to buy it, 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 and then wind up missing out on it, because that's what I wind up doing. I always am like, I'm going to get this. Oh crap, I missed out. So that's that whole take action kind of thing. Don't miss out on it. And I don't mean that just to buy my stuff or Eric's stuff or whatever, but hindsight's 2020, and I can't tell you how many times I've kicked myself for waiting on a good project.
That's so true. And I'll give a testimony to that. Last night is I kept wanting to buy a play to earn game called Creeps. It's called Creeps, and it's like this, it's just a really cool game. And my friend, one of our alpha, we have a Kingdom Alpha, like basically I've just met some brilliant people that are really good at savvy investors. And we have some Kingdom Alpha where we share some, like, obviously like whitelist spots we get with you guys, or just with good projects. And then also for our holders, like special things that we're like, hey, this has a high chance of being long-term successful, like things that we're putting our money with. We're putting like transparent, like, hey, I'm actually investing in this. Like, I'm going to tell you guys because I'm doing it, because here's why, X, Y, Z.
Yep.
Here's the risk level. Just like letting people know transparency of like what we buy, what crypto we buy, why we believe we're going to buy it. And anyways, so long story short, last night I bought at 0.18 or 1.8 ETH of Creeps, and it earns 1,500. It's a Genesis Creeps. It earns 1,500 Lumi. Lumi went up, and then I ended up buying it last night. I found out that today it went up almost to 3 ETH. So think about this. Wow. Like, think about this as far as this returns. That is crazy. Like, went from 1.85 ETH to almost 3 ETH. Now it's like at 2.5 ETH. And then the token Lumi that earns 1,500 a day went up 80%. So like, just like, that's just a play to earn game that is a pretty cool. They have a really cool team. I mean, it's on the higher price. So I mean, you're going to be able to, obviously, you're going to have a lot of money. You're gonna have to make 6 figures to be able to buy that, to even have liquid to buy that. But so for you guys, like, Tanner and I are looking at some of these bigger projects, like looking at the pros and cons of some of this stuff. And that's what Kingdom Warriors and Mech is gonna do, is just keep producing, keep generating, keep adding value in the long term. Like, watch what happens in the next 3 years, just to build and really just execute in this place. So what do you think, Tanner? Any final thoughts? Then let's give some, let's go ahead and give away some.
Absolutely.
Some NFTs.
Guys, final thoughts. Like, I can keep talking forever. I know Eric can too. I'm super enjoying this conversation, but if there's a question that we didn't answer, or that you just have a burning question, throw it in there. And let us answer, like, on a strong note for you guys at the end. Right. But I would say one other thing about, the getting into the projects is, the other thing is important to find a founder that's honest in terms of what they expect out of the project and what they want their holders to do. So like, we're designing Mech with the intention of realizing that there's different kinds of people who are going to come into the project. There's hardcore gamers who are going to buy and hold till the game comes out. There's people coming in that that just want to be able to flip. And there's people that want to do a little bit of both, right? And that's okay. But when a project tries to like manipulate the way a user uses the NFT, you need to be aware of that. Like we're engineering everything so that, hey, you want to flip right after the mint, go ahead. Like we understand people are going to buy back in after that and that kind of stuff. But if you got to structure it in a way, because obviously we're buying, let's just be straight up. Eric's got a great story. He's got a cool thing. I've got a cool thing, but you guys are buying our NFTs predominantly 98.9999% because you want to make money. The 100%. Other 1% is because you're like, dude, Mech is cool. Eric's story's cool. I like Eric's hair, whatever. It's 1% that, 99% everything, 98% everything else, right? That's the reality. So if we have to do this, so we have to know, the founder has to be aware of that and be okay with that, and also engineer the project in a way that allows the people who are part of it, the supporters, to also make money. So that's just the thing I would say you have to be aware of.
Someone said, I'm like the 1% and I like Eric's hair too. Hey, shout out to Julian Katz. Some of our buyers are like diehard, like they're diehard Kingdom Warriors for life.
Absolutely.
I couldn't imagine having such an amazing community. Shout out to our community.
No, you guys have a solid community. It's super active. That's one thing Jeremy told me too. He's like, dude, if you watch this community, it's awesome. And that's the other thing is find people who have like they're like Eric and I are running the same circles in the business world. We got connected though through another buddy of mine, Jeremy, who also is an e-commerce guy. But if you find founders that seem to have no other connection to anybody else in any part of the space, I would say that's a red flag as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Bruce, I appreciate that. Okay, I don't see any questions coming in, and we've been going for about an hour. Again, like I said, I could go forever, but let's go ahead and give away some NFTs to people.
Sweet. Some good NFTs. What did we? Oh yeah. So the way we decided, Tanner, are we letting them, the first person who wins, pick?
Why don't we ask?
NFT?
Let's see what they want, guys. We've got two options for you. We're going to give away 2 NFTs to 2 different people, right? Each person's going to win 1 NFT, 1 Mech or 1 Kingdom Warrior. We were going to just randomly pick 2 winners, or we were going to allow the first winner to pick which NFT they want, and then the second winner gets the other one. Which one sounds better?
Let us know in the chat, you guys. Let us know which one you guys
want. That way we do what you guys want, because it doesn't matter to us. We're just trying to make it more fun. Should the first winner get to pick the NFT, or should we just say you win this and you win this?
Let us know. Let's see what they said in the chat. Let's see what they said.
All right.
So let the first choose. Random.
Let the first pick. Okay, everybody's in agreement. All right, so Eric's going to do the pick. He's going to use some tool that he knows how to use.
We're going to use Twitter. We're going to use Twitter Picker.
Twitter Picker. There you go. So the first person we pick from Twitter Picker is going to get to choose the NFT that they want, and then the next winner will get the remaining NFT. And there's no right answer in which NFT you choose. It's just pick the one you want.
So Tanner, do you see this screen? And let us know in the chat. Do you guys see Kingdom Warriors NFT or graphic?
I see Twitter Picker.
Okay, we are on Twitter Picker. So we loaded the tweet. The tweet is loaded. All right, let's see what they had to do. They had to like, they had to retweet, they had to tag 3 friends. We didn't know what, if you thought we misspelled friends, go to our NFT education. We have a glossary of wag me, friends.
I struggle with that all the time.
All the NFT lingo was like, people were like, you know what I really liked about the NFT community at first is like, I'm a very optimistic, like I had a lot of negativity growing up, and to renew my mind, to like strengthen my mind, to believe I could do anything in the world. You know, obviously I believe in God and I believe in people, but and I believe myself now, but it was all through like optimism and just belief in myself, even though the world said you weren't not going to do anything. So the optimism of like wag me and we're all going to make it. And obviously that's not totally true. Like, but it's better to like, obviously do your research. You're not every NFT project is going to make it. 90% of businesses fail. Like, you know, there's obviously those stats, but at the same time, it's like, you need to overall believe in yourself that you're going to make it and you're going to keep pressing forward and learning and growing, you know?
Yep.
So that's what I really liked about the NFT community. Okay, here we go. So they must follow us, like, retweet, tag 3 friends. Okay, so we're going to pick the first person and then we're going to let them pick. And then hopefully that person's on live. And then
Julie, it's okay if you did not know how to tag on Twitter. you're obviously in the Kingdom Warriors community, so hop in there, and there's 25 whitelist spots that Eric's going to give away later through the bot.
So do you see begin draw right here?
I do.
All right, here we go. We got 64 entries. Drum roll. Here
we go.
Should hit some music. Bum bum bum. Here we go. Begin draw. Okay, reply winners. All right, we got skewed at 2G Blue. You guys, we're gonna let's see. Actually, should we go check to make sure they tag people, or should we give it to them?
I don't know how this works. So if you think that,
so basically, you have to. Basically, the way it works is if they're not on live, which I'm assuming they're not, you have to reply with winners, and then this is how it basically gives the stats that shows like they were the ones who were at least following us. The Twitter picker can only verify they were following us. We can actually manually go and see if they tag 3 people.
Then yeah, let's check it.
Let's check it. Okay, so
that makes it fair for everybody.
Are you seeing my Twitter?
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna go look. Shout out to Jerome, CryptoVal, Medici, Bruce. You're all following it. Sean Species. So we're looking for Scood. What was their name? Scood.
Yeah.
Their name was Skewed.
Skewed. Yeah. SK.
Okay, so Skewed. Let's see if you follow directions, and if you tag 3 people, then you are the winner. There. Skewed. Right here. So I'm gonna follow you, and then yeah, we're gonna. You did it. You tagged 3 people. You followed us.
Okay, well, if he's not on here, we're gonna have to pick someone else to pick the NFT they want, or we just.
Oh, got it. So what do you? Should we redraw till someone's live or what?
Yeah, let's try that. Let's just do that.
Let's redraw until we get someone live. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
So now we got NFT Game Fan. All right, NFT Game Fan, are you live? How do we know if they're live? I guess we'll have to look at the comments.
I guess they have to throw in the chat. We may not be able to do the live one as much as we want to.
Twitter picker, pick me.
George. Twitter picker, pick me.
I mean, I know my people on Twitter, I know their Twitter names, so like they would, but yeah, the only hard part about it is it's hard to what do you call it? It's hard to see if they're live unless you really know them, and then if they are watching live.
So I guess we'll just have to. I guess we can't do it the way we wanted to. Then we'll just we have EA and Skewed, so we just need to.
These are the 2 winners, pretty much. Yeah. So these are the 2 winners, but we do got to see if EA.
Bruce is Skewed here. Do you know Skewed, or is that someone just saying they're Skewed?
No. Oh wait, Bruce is not Skewed. No.
No, someone's Zealous. You're Skewed, or are you just are you joking?
Someone's probably joking.
Yeah.
Cruising through step. Yeah, this is probably someone international. You know, they have 9 followers.
Yeah.
Probably someone international that won. So yeah, we'll give it to these. Let me find out. There was another person who won. I need to see what was their. It was NFT Game Fan. Let me see if they retweeted or if they, what's it called? I'm looking for NFT Game Fan. Let me see if they. I know they're following us, but let's see if they did it, and then we'll just tweet them that they won. Let's see. But yeah, shout out to these 2 people for winning, and well, we might actually pick someone else because I don't see them on the retweet. No, that person didn't.
Okay, let's do it. Let's pick another one.
But Skewed did. So Skewed is one that did it, but we are picking another one.
First winner.
Redraw. Here we go. Oh, Tedicus. Let's go see if you tag 3 people. Tedicus. I didn't see your name on the last one, so we'll see if you're on here. Oh wait, no, Tedicus, you are on there. All right, I'm following you. All right, YouTube, hit the follow button. Perfect. Okay, so Tedicus, you win, and so I'm gonna go to Twitter Picker. I'm gonna do reply with winners, and yeah, you guys, the first. I guess we'll just let them pick first. So what was the other person's name? Skewed. So I need to go to find at 2G Blue. So I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna tweet both of them. So I'm gonna say 2G Blue. I'm gonna say you guys won, and I'm gonna let them. Whoever is the quickest hands on the draw in the Mech game.
Let them pick.
Gets to pick. Yeah, whoever claims it first gets to pick the NFT. You also won. First one to DM me with which NFT you want. Claims that one, and drop your ETH address. All right, we did it. You guys go give them a shout out, and let me go spell this right. So these 2 people won, Tedicus and 2G Blue. Shout out to you guys. Go join the Discord. You guys are going to be holding one of these NFTs. And if you didn't win that other one, you better sign up to go buy the other one. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, shout out to everyone. You guys go mint some mechs. Let me turn this.
Bruce, the whitelist for Kingdom Warriors. Eric's going to do that in his Discord, in your guys' Discord.
So we'll let you know, Bruce, how to do it. And we're going to do a giveaway bot. And then basically whoever clicks on the giveaway bot, if 50 people do it, 25 of you guys will win. So congrats to the winners. You won a Mech game NFT. If you want to win a Mech whitelist, join the Kingdom Warriors Discord. We're going to be giving away 25 whitelist spots. And we probably, once we get closer, we'll probably do another call, Tanner. Let's think of another like collab and something we could do to give some more NFTs away.
Absolutely. We can schedule some calls like this and just keep having new topics and stuff and just kind of roll through stuff.
I really think people really like the value, and excuse my throat. I've been getting kind of a cough, and so I've been a little under the weather, but this meeting was just so important, and I really wanted to get this value out there. So I'm super excited.
This was awesome. I really enjoyed this.
Powered through it. My wife got me some tea and some like hot tea and some cough drops. But man, I'm just super excited for this space. There's just so much. She says, I think I'm already whitelisted. Yeah, so we're going to be doing 25 spots in there. So Tanner, final thoughts on just adding value to the space. What can they expect from Mech game, and anything else you want to share?
Yeah, guys. I mean, we're here to stay. Like, I can't tell you that we're not going to have problems because I guarantee you we will. But I can tell you we know how to work through them. We'll push through them, and the network that we have, and like with Eric and everybody else, that if we don't know how to solve it, we can reach out to the people that can help us. And we're here for the long haul. And if you guys are along for the ride and like what we have, then join us.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. We're going to be doing some more collabs with Tanner. Absolutely. I really like his vision. I really like what they're doing. We're going to be working a lot more. And I think what I've been seeing is the collaboration. You see at the top the word collaboration. Collaboration is going to be key for innovation, for us to really create the impact and change in this world. I think we have to come together. In the elite culture, like the billionaires and the trillionaires, like they get in rooms together and say, let's take over banking, let's take over insurance. Yep. I think we need to do the same thing. We need to collaborate. Say, how do we not just take it over for ourselves, but take it over for impacting with decentralized Web3, with innovation. And so that's what I'm doing. I put myself in rooms with brilliant people because they actually want to impact. And obviously, it's okay to have tens of millions, hundreds of millions, because if you have 100 million and you have a heart to give and a heart to help, that's what you're going to do with 100 million as you did with 1,000. Yep. You're going to give back. And so that's why I like people like Tanner having as much money and success as possible. And for me and my family, because if you look at our community, there's been so many people who have been able to pay their, medical bills, pay different bills and stuff just from being a part of the Kingdom Warrior staff, being a part of, they won an invite contest, they won an art contest, a meme contest. And they're like, wow, I just got to pay bills that I was really just didn't even know how I was going to do it. And that's the power of even this NFT community.
Absolutely.
So appreciate it, you guys. We're going to end it right there. Go subscribe to the YouTube. Get ready for some more giveaways in the future. Go join Mech Games and get ready for some amazing NFTs and building out Web3 and the metaverse. Hopefully we'll see a way that we could bring our three. Once we'll figure it out. We'll figure out how to bring our worlds together.
We'll figure that out for sure.
All right. Peace.
Awesome. See you guys.